Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna everyone. So let us start the class.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Pranams to everyone. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So today we'll see 18, 19 and 20. Okay. I don't know, not much of purports in that. Okay. Let everyone read 18 so that 19 and 20 I will read actually. Okay. Please raise your hands. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavada Sevayam Bhavatya Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So reading from Bhagavadam. So 18th 6th canto, 14th chapter, 18th sloka. Yes, Madhumai Krishnakant Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Pranams Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Atmanam Prakritishu Adha Nidhaya Shreya Apnuyat. Rajna Tatha Prakritayo Naradeva Ahitadhayah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Venkata Narasimha Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Atmanam prakrutishvadda nidhaya shreya apnuyat agnatadha prakrutayo naradeva ahitadaya. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Chitra Mohini Mataji. Chitra Mohini Mataji.
Pranams Mataji.
Pranams.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Atmanam Prakrutishvadha Nidhaya Shreya Apnuyat. Rajna Tata Prakrutayo Naradeva Ahitadhayah. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Madhusoni Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandvat pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Atmanam Prakrishidva Nidhaya Shreya Apnuyat. Pragya Tatha Prakritayo Naradeva Hitadhaya. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Prananandini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी।
Pranams.
आत्मनं प्रकृति श्रद्धा निधाय श्रेय अपनेयात् राज्ञा तथा प्रकृतयो नरदेवाहिताधयः। हरे कृष्ण। थैंक यू माताजी।
Thank you, Mataji. Revati Ratnangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
आत्मानां प्रकृतिं बद्ध्वा निधाय श्रेय आप्नुयात् राज्ञा तथा प्रकृत्यो यो नरदेवहितादयः. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, Mataji. Uma Kulkarni Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Hare
ओम
Krishna.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. आत्मानं प्रकृतिष्व निधाय श्रेय आप्नुयात् राज्ञा तथा प्रकृतयो नरदेव अहिताय दायतः.
Yes.
हरे
Thank you.
कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. आत्मानं प्रकृतिष्व अध निधाय श्रेय आप्नुयात् राज्ञा तथा प्रकृतयो नरदेवा अहित आदया. Synonyms. Atmanam, himself, Prakritishu, under the 7 royal elements, Anda, directly, Nidaya, placing, Shreya, ultimate happiness, Apnuyat, may obtain, Rajna, by the king, Tata, so also, Prakritaya, the dependent royal elements, Naradeva, O king, Ahitya, Adhaya, offering wealth and other items. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. O King, O Lord of humanity, when a king directly depends upon his associates and follows their instructions, he is happy. Similarly, when his associates offer their gifts and activities to the king and follow his orders, they are also happy. Purport. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The actual happiness of a king and his dependents is described in this verse. A king should not simply give orders to his dependents because he is supreme. Sometimes he must follow their instructions. Similarly, the dependent should depend on the king. This mutual dependence will make everyone happy. Apidara prajamatya बृहत्या श्रेण्यो अथ मंत्रिणा पौराजना पदा भूपा आत्मजा वर्तिनाः. Synonyms. Api, whether, Dhara, wives, Praja, citizens, Atmaya, and secretaries, Bridhaya, servants, Shrenya, merchants, Atha, as well as, Mantrina, ministers, Pauraha, inmates of the palace, Janapadaha, the provincial governors, Bhupaha, landholders, Atmaja, sons, Vasavartinaha, under your full control. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. O King, are your wives, citizens, secretaries and servants and the merchants who sell spices and oil under your control? Are you also in full control of ministers, the inhabitants of your palace, your provincial governors, your sons and your other dependents? Purport. The master or the king and his subordinates should be interdependent. Through cooperation, both of them can be happy. Yashya atmana vashaschet sarve tat vasagha ime loka sapala yachanti sarve bhalim adantritaha. Synonyms. Yashya, of whom, Atma, mind, Anuvashaha, under control, Chet, if, Shayat, may be, Sarve, all, Tat, Vasaghaha, under the control of him, Ime, this, Loka, the worlds, Sa, Palaha, with their governors, Yachanti, offer, Sarve, all, Balim, contribution, Atandritaha, becoming free from laziness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. If the king's mind is fully controlled, all his family members and governmental officers are subordinate to him. His provincial governors present tax on time without resistance, and what to speak of lesser servant. Purport. Angira Rishi asked the king whether his mind was also under control. This is the most essential for happiness. Okay. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjanaya Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayyam Tadati Swapadandikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanushute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpadarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Dinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavade Paschata Deshadarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are reading from Bhagavadam, 6th canto, the prescribed duties of mankind. In that the 14th chapter being King Chitraketu's lamentation. That is the previous life of Chitraketu we are reading, because the question has been asked by Parishit Maharaj, because he was Vikshasura now, and then how come he was a pure devotee? So that was the question asked by Parishit Maharaj, and for that we are walking through this. That is the previous life of that Vikshasura being a great devotee. So once on one of the days, that means in the assembly of King Chitraketu, Angira Rishi came, and then king has been, I think we have studied about the characteristics of the king, that is the subhava of the king. He being a very humble person, and then that is he's been well educated, all those things. So when how he has received Rishi also has been explained in the previous slokas. Here, after giving a seat for Angira Rishi with all respects, King Chitraketu sat down with great respect. That humiliation actually felt Angira Rishi to speak as follows. So he was asking, correct, in the previous, the 7 things. What are the 7 things? Can someone actually recollect? 7 elements? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Elements and mind and Balsiva Mataji.
Yes, that is mind, and then that is the 5 objects, sense objects. Correct, na? The 5 sense objects. What are the sense objects actually?
Rasa Rupa.
Rasa Gandha.
Okay.
Rasa Gandha, Rupa Sparsha.
Correct. Correct now. What are the things? That is smell, touch. That means the feeling. That is when you touch, you will have that feeling actually. And then taste. Okay. And then hearing. That means hearing. And then seeing. All those things. These are all the 5. That means the actions performed by the Jnanendriyas. That's what it has been spoken here. And then the mind. The mind is the very important part for anyone actually. So out of all these 5, everything is fine. That means if mind is fine, everything will be fine. If mind is not fine, everything will have impact. So everything depends on the mind itself. In Bhagavad Gita, many places we have studied about the mind. Correct now? He is the best friend and the worst enemy. No need to search for the enemy outside surrounding us. So our mind only is the enemy. If we think in a krodha, or if we think in a wrong way, as per our speculation, So we will go and that means we will have some perspective on a person, and with that angle we will start speaking actually. That's there now. This all depend on the mind. The mind is very, very important. It cannot be controlled. So in 6th chapter also, Arjuna was speaking. It's very tough to control mind. We can actually control the wind also, but controlling mind, that means we can have something like the wind can also be controlled to an extent. That means whereas controlling mind is not possible, like that he will be replying, because karma sannyasa is not possible for him. So the Ashtanga yoga practices is not at all possible for him, he was explaining. Correct? Na? The yogic practices, sitting in one posture straight and then in a secluded place, and then step by step, and then fixing the mind, and then concentrating on the mind, and then continuously staying in that. We cannot control mind. In yesterday's class, NND Prabhuji was also telling that is only few seconds. I am not able to recollect exactly how many seconds he mentioned. Only for few seconds we will be able to focus. After that, we will not be able to focus. So even Narada Maharishi's example also Prabhuji was quoting, because when he was a servant maid's son, he was just able to see take the darshan of the Lord, and within a few seconds he lost that darshan, and he was actually searching for that darshan actually. Correct? Na? He was focusing, so constantly sitting and trying to take darshan of the Lord. Seeing the situation, Lord himself spoke, I won't be visible here. That means you have to practice. Okay, so that's what. And then he became Devrishi in the next life actually. So like that, mind control is very, very important for anyone. If you are not controlling the mind, so it will be wandering, and then many times we will think whatever we visualize is the right, and then many times we will think that whatever I heard is the right thing, and then many things whatever we decide is the right thing, whatever my perspective is the right thing, and then we'll try to impose that on others also. That also will happen, because we always think we are right. That is because of what? False ego. Right? Now when there is out of 7 elements, this mind and the false ego is also there. Correct? Now, and the 5 sense objects. These 5 sense objects and the false ego will come to control if mind is controlled. Now, Angira Rishi is asking the question, that means is asking these subjects. So who are the king's subjects? The first level being the administrative people, who actually takes care of the administration of the different departments in the kingdom, and then advice, Brahminical advice to the king, and then and under the ministers there are different workers, and then under the workers they will go on to take care of the citizens actually. This is how the hierarchy. Even in our current democratic thing also, we have prime minister, and then cabinet ministers, and then we have each state chief minister, and then under them also the assembly, there are a few ministers who take care of the particular state, and then it is again subdivided into every city, and then or the town, village panchayats, like that. There are hierarchicals, and then the direct that is the panchayat, or the town particular is that MLC, they will tell legislative council or something. Correct? Na? Remember, in the councillors will be there for the ward councillor. To that minor level, the management of the any ruling government will be taken care. So in ancient days also it was like that only. They have group of ministers under whom there are officers, and then under them the ground level workers, and then they who coordinate with the subjects of the kingdom. So if the king's mind is in a proper state, obviously the guidance to his ministers also will be in the right direction, and ultimately he will also listen from whom he has to listen. That means the guidance of the Brahmanas. So once the king takes the guidance of the Brahmanas, and his decisions also will be on the right, provided his mind is in the stable position. Whereas here, King Chitraketu is always in the lamenting mode because he didn't have a progeny. So even though he had millions of wives, he was not able to have a kid to continue. For what is the purpose? He was actually thinking of having the son. One is the legal heir who can take care of the kingdom. That is one thing. And the second part is that is Shraddha. That's not Shraddha. Sorry, what is that? Shraddha. Okay, Shraddha they will give now. So he want his ancestors also to be relieved from the clutches of the sinful things. So for that rituals has to be performed, and for him also is expecting. That was the thing we have read, I think, if I'm right. Okay, so these are all very important things which has to be taken care in one person's life. Everyone has to follow this. So he is having a great cause. Like one is the family welfare, and another one is the subjects welfare also. Both the things as a king, that is the responsibility. So because of that, he was expecting a son to continue his ruling after his rule. So because he didn't had a son, he was internally having a feeling. He was lamenting. He was having anxiety. How actually it will have post his leaving the world. All those things he was having in the mind. So here there is the mutual understanding between the king and his own subordinates are very, very important to have a good administration. If administration is a healthy administration, then the subjects will live in the peaceful way. So the dependent should depend on the king. You should see as a king is also, even though he is supreme for the kingdom, just in a whimsical way, he cannot rule the kingdom. He cannot give orders whatever he thinks and he feels like to do. That will lead to the disaster. So he should think about the welfare of the subjects, and then what way the instruction has to be given as per the advice of Brahmana for the welfare of the kingdom, he has to follow. So that part, if he takes care, and similarly, the instructions given by the king has to be followed by the subjects also. This mutual interdependence, that means the king also has dependence, and even the subjects are also having dependence. Then if this goes hand to hand, then only the kingdom will be in peace. Otherwise, there will be always a imbalance, and then quarrelsome fight, and then because of that the law and order, everything will have impact, everything. And even the nature also will, the sinful acts of the subjects also increase, and because of that the nature also will start punishing in the way, not giving any rainfall in the right time, or there will be a drought, or will be over floods. So all imbalances will occur. So the kingdom will not be in a good position. So how actually it is important, the one person's mind is making everyone in a peaceful way or in a disaster way, that we need to analyze here. So now Angira Rishi asking about individual subjects. So whether he found out that he is in lamentation, and then the root cause of the lamentation is asking one by one, whether he's unhappy because of his wives, or because of the citizens' actions, or the secretaries who are not giving any proper support, or the servants are not doing their that is the duty. So the merchants are not selling the that is whatever the spices or oil in with the right intention. That means more greedy. Correct? The profit labh, that is the profit. So if they are expecting more profit, obviously it will impact the citizens to purchase. So everyone should be under the control of the king. So these are the things actually Angira Rishi is asking. So even the ministers, the main department, okay, the first level ministers, they only have to adhere first the king's words. Then they should take their orders to the next level, and then it should reach to the ground level. So if that is taken care, the provincial governors are ruling in a proper way, then the other dependence also will be in the proper way. And then he's asking, Angira Rishi was not aware that he didn't have sons. Okay, and then he's asking whether your sons, so that is the root cause is for because your sons, like that he's asking. So, but finally, I think in the next, that is 21 so sloka, we'll have that he will be lamenting. He didn't have the child, and then he will be lamenting, and then he'll speaking. So now we'll speak about the mind control. What are the characteristics of the mind actually? Can anyone speak on that? So what are the main function of the mind?
Thinking, willing, feeling, Mataji.
Thinking, willing, and
Yes.
feeling.
Thinking, willing, that is feeling and willing. That means it will start with the thought process. So the jiva will be having a desire, and the desire will be routed through the intelligence, mind, and then executed through the senses. This is how actually we have read in Bhagavad Gita. The second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the last few slokas, you would have there is a one in the PPT also, the flow, how actually it goes. Correct now? So the jiva desires, and he takes those desires as in the thought process. When he start contemplating on the thought process continuously, it will that is the part of thinking continuously, thinking about one thing. He may be hankering, he may be desiring. So when the desire goes in a very, that means in a forcible way, since that means he want to attain, that process becomes strong, then he will start actually thinking, feeling some attachment towards that desire. So once the desire becomes strong, actually he will start liking that desire. So it also depends on what are the other factors, the three gunas. That is the main factor. So the person in which mode, what is the desire is very, very important. So as per the gunas, Sattva gun's desires will be for the not only the welfare of him, the person, it will be welfare for the other people also. Rajogun will be like it is full of selfish actually. Correct now? Then Tamas gun, he will not know whether whatever desire he is thinking, so that will give good to him itself. Whether it will be giving good to him or the others, it will be 100%, it will be troublesome only. But he will not be able to discriminate the desire, whatever is having, he want to execute, that will lead to good thing for him itself. So that much is the avidya's impact. So the desires, whatever desires we are having, it will be related to what actually? It is basically on the three gunas. So one should raise above what? These three gunas. For that, what we have to do? We have to start with the devotional service. So slowly in the progressive way, only by doing the sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is the main thing. So it is very, very important. Without sadhana bhakti, we will not be able to reach to the taste. That is sometime we'll be having that sudden that is interest, that is the development towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At one point of time, we will start developing the relationship. So that will not be reached. So sadhana bhakti is very, very important. One should practice sadhana bhakti in a as per the religious principles. So that will help. The practice should be continuous. It should not be one day doing and then stopping and again we are starting. So that will not give the perfection in a due course of time. So if a person has to become perfect with respect to their actions and then utilizing the senses in a proper way, which makes them to is thinking and feeling and willing also to be more perfect. Perfect in the sense that is a how can we describe that? Means perfect, which leads to the transcendental mode. So that is the way the perfection has to be taken. So perfect in the sense keeping the things in the right and then leaving, it's not the perfect actually. Making the one's own mind to be in the divinity, that means in the divine way. So by acquiring the qualities, so what we have read in Bhagavad Gita 16th chapter, we have the first three slokas divining the 26 characteristics of the divine. So at least we need to practice how much ever, how many qualities we will be able to acquire. Like how here Chitraketu has been demonstrating his humiliation. He is actually perfect in his sense, but he has his the right desire also, because he needs his kingdom to be taken care. That is a good intention only. But the lamentation is, even though he has some that is but a self-interest also he has, because the rituals, all those things. If it is only for the public interest or the everyone welfare, I think that is a different thing. Whereas he has some personal thing also he's having. Okay, so because of that only he is having anxiety. He's lamenting for that. Okay, so the mind makes a person to go up in a very right direction, or anytime we may fall down also. It is all the functionality of the mind. So mind should be controlled. So control of the mind will be by practicing the bhakti yoga. So that will, if a person is in Ashtanga yoga also, he should culminate in bhakti yoga. Then only the perfection will happen. Okay. So with this, we'll conclude today's session, and I put forward to you all. So if you want to give any insights, whatever you are able to share here, please come forward actually. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Madhusoni Mataji, your hand raised actually. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I forgot to lower it down.
Okay,
No
fine.
problem, Mataji, but this session is going really well. Like, it's very practical session. Like yesterday also, we were not aware about these 7 things. Like, we know individually, but we do not know accumulating, like how these things are working in practical life. And
Yes.
king's duty is like Ishavasya. When
Yes.
king is like in like a sastric vidhi, if he is following, then only the fruitful result will come, and the people of his people will go up, is like in terms of they can aim towards Lord Mataji. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
Yes. Very
Yeah.
right. Very
Yeah.
right. Because the 7 elements, especially mind, in that is that is a main part. If mind is working in a right way, everything will go in a right way. We can consider any action in different angles, because every person thinks in their own perspective only. Correct now? So I may be thinking in some way, and then you may be thinking in another way. But how it has to be taught in a generic, as per the Shastras and all, we need to follow that. We should not take it in our own senses. So we don't know what it will lead to. So first of all, and then the outcome of that, we only will be entangled. So that also we need to think. So one should follow one should take the guidance of Guru Shastra, correct na? So that is very, very important. So Brahmana's guidance is very, very important to run the kingdom. So as per that, Chitraketu should continue. But he has the personal also, and then the welfare of the people also. Both he has actually. So even though it is a righteous thing, but he has some personal thing. So if it is only for the providence, that is providence, as per the providence wish means he should have totally dependent on the supreme personality of God. So he should have totally got dependent on him. So then actually, as per the will of the Lord, if you would have left, I think whatever action it has to come, it would have come. But he had his own desire. So because of that, he got entangled. And then at any cost, he want to have son. So that mind setup he has made. So that strong will he has developed. That's what we are going to see in the upcoming slokas. So from Chitraketu's the intention, one should learn whatever we have got till now is as per the will of the Lord. If one would have taken, he will be able to take it up further also. Whatever we receive today and tomorrow also will be as per the will of the Lord. And that acceptance mind we will get. So one should develop that part. So if one is able to develop that part, there is nothing to lament here and then nothing to be enjoyful also here. So dualities, we can overcome the dualities. So this there are different practices like Nishkam Karma Yoga and then Jnana and then the Dhyana. Although Bhakti will make us in a very easy way. Bhakti, following Bhakti is easy, but practicing Bhakti will be little challenging because the environment, our body, mind, everything should be on the same level or same level of understanding. Then it will be very easy to follow. If something goes wrong to any one of the thing also, we will immediately that particular day will fall down, and again next day the evening we'll lament, and then next day we'll make it up early and then we'll do. That attitude we always have. Okay, so like that practicing will have little challenge, but that also with the mercy of. So when we do prayers to Guru Maharaj and then prayers to the Supreme Lord will help us to lead that life also in a without any hindrance. We can continue. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any other thing you want to share? Please come forward. Otherwise, I will conclude today's session here, and then let us see tomorrow. Actually, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, even I have realized with the day-to-day distractions of our family, though we all want to be peaceful and going to bhakti, it's very, 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 very tough. We try to go attending, reading and all, but family disturbance is too much sometimes. I mean, external.
Yes.
Very true, Mataji.
Every moment we have that. So every moment as we see every moment there is a fall that is expected, then obviously that much we are dependent on Guru and the Supreme Lord. So that thing we need to think about. So how much we are dependent, and then that much we need to concentrate on the lotus feet of the Lord. So once we practice that, obviously the disturbance also will move forward. So if we are not thinking about the lotus feet of the Lord and then we are performing activities now, more and more the hindrance come, we'll be focused on the hindrance only instead of mitigating it. So the mind will be taken care in the either way, either thinking about the hindrances or thinking about the lotus feet of the Lord. So if you focus more on the lotus feet of the Lord, the impact of the hindrances will be less. If you think about the hindrances, why these hindrances are there, they are not allowing me to do this, like that and all. Only that focus only will be there. And then we'll be missing out what? The main part, focusing on the lotus feet of the Lord. So we need to be very careful, and then no need to demonstrate that outside. How much you are able to keep up internally and then making you perfect, that will help you to lead the practices in a peaceful way and then without disturbing the external environment also. If we show that outside, that will have more impact and then will fall down. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, Chitramohini Mataji, you want to speak anything? Mataji, Hare Krishna. You unmuted. Okay.
No, Mataji, I wanted to say thanks for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining. I should say thanks. So we are for having the association with all of you. Thank you all for joining morning session. Vanchakalpadarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananda Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.